Each. All right. 3, 2, 1. All right, everybody. We are getting started for our show Indie Inquiries here on the Game Wisdom channel. Each week, my co-host and I will take a look at the upcoming indie games and examine the marketing, what they could do to improve things or make their games a little bit more sellable. So, as always, please welcome from Nexus Games, Sharky. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. And we're also live on the Nexus Games LLC channel.
We are recording this on Christmas Eve, so we're not expecting too much in terms of a chat, but as always, if you want to tune in to watch these live, we do them Thursdays at 3 p.m., around 3 p.m. ET. And if you'd like to submit a game for us to look at in a future episode, please get in touch with either one of us.
Yeah. Actually, I'm expecting everybody to be here in chat because the fact is probably a lot of people are not wanting to go in there and talk to their families.
All right. So, those of you new, our 4 minutes at each week, Shark and I have picked a list of indie games that are coming out, and we're going to go through them and kind of switch off one at a time between each of us. And like I said, we're going to be focusing on the marketing and presentation of these titles. We're not going to be playing any games, and we're going to be trying to give some advice to developers about how to position your game and what to do in terms of the overall look and feel, or I should say, overall look and aesthetics.
As well as diagnostics of your store page itself.
Mm-hmm. So I think with that, and we're going to be trying to keep these shows to at least around an hour. So if we do go above that, we will unfortunately move on, or we'll keep those games in the backlog for next week, possibly. But I think with that, let's begin. We'll start with one of mine. Let me make sure I got yours listed here. Yeah, there we go. So this is the first one that I chose, and this is What We Pretend to Be. And I chose this one because it seems like they're going for a very emotionally driven story. So it's about feeding the war effort, grow wheat, build new houses. So it looks like it's a very light kind of farming sim, or maybe just like farming management kind of game. Art wise, I don't know. Like, something is sticking out to me in a wrong way. What do you think?
There's definitely something up with it. The art is not bad. The art is pretty good.
I feel
I
like the
think it might be the
background.
backgrounds.
I feel like the backgrounds aren't matching the foregrounds.
Yeah, that is the issue, exactly. Well, the background, not really the background, but the land is not matching the houses.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else. Because I think that's not even pixel art for the land. Yeah,
Doesn't look like it.
that is not pixel art, but it's pixel art for all the houses and everything.
And the characters as well.
Yeah. So you're mixing pixel art with not pixel art, which is generally not a wise decision. You can you can pull it off maybe depending on how detailed your pixel art is. Like right now with my current game, I have very detailed and large pixel art that most people don't even realize is even pixel art, which helps me blend in with stuff that isn't pixel art. Although I'm going farther in that direction and making it purposely look less like pixel art at the moment to further blend that in there. But this game has not done that in the least. That's been standing out like a sore thumb.
Another thing that I'm not a fan of is the little prompts at the bottom of the screen. They look very generic.
They're not generic though, but they look it. Because you can see the little they have the square box with the outline around the square box, and then the little corner pieces in there. And there's definitely detail in there, but it looks generic even though it's not.
I think the text is what's killing it.
The text and maybe the colors too.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that there is no texture on that dark black part.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a flat color.
Yeah. And one of the big things about when we look at these games is that you can do things right, but if it doesn't come across that way to the consumer, they're not going to care. They're just going to look at your game and say it's ugly or it's an asset flip.
Yeah, and another issue is if you look at the first screenshot, you can see a YouTube video slider and the
Yeah,
volume sliders and the full screen buttons. Yeah, you don't want that on your store page.
yeah. You can see the same thing on the second to last thumbnail as well. Mm. Unless you are literally building a game on YouTube.
Yeah.
Also, if you look at the second to last screenshot, the grass at the bottom looks very off to me. Like it looks like almost like the two images are being like rubbed against each other. You can see there's like a line, maybe like at the middle or right underneath the character's foot. Do you see that?
Yeah. I know exactly what's happening there. They're trying to tile the background image and it's not made for tiling. So there's just a line there.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if there's anything else that.
Which is that screams of assets, what that screams of.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like,
I'm guessing a lot of this stuff is assets, like all the backgrounds and everything. But
mhm.
I'm betting all the pixel art stuff is not assets.
Yeah. Like I like the background of the final image, but it also doesn't look like anything else that we saw from the other images.
Mm-hmm. Again, I'm betting all the backgrounds are assets
Mm-hmm.
and all the pixel art is not.
Yeah.
Which there's nothing wrong with using assets as long as you make them match.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I think that's anything else you want to say about this one?
No, I think that's about it.
Yeah. And it could be an interesting game, but we're not really seeing much in terms of gameplay from these screenshots or from this GIF.
Mm-hmm. And that's a hard one.
Yeah. All right. What game do you want to go to now?
Let's go with Lone Wolf.
Okay.
So the Lone Wolf looks like it has a pretty good aesthetic going with it. And the issue I'm seeing is I don't know what kind of game this is.
Mm-hmm.
Although, when you read the description, it says a beautiful story driven game created by Tom Black, a, an average 16-year-old who just wants to find where he belongs. Wait a minute. Is, is Tom Black the character in this game, or the creator, or both?
Could be both.
Lone Wolf is a third person. I have to disagree with that. It's a third wolf, not a third person. Third person exploration game placed inside of a eye-catching stylized forest with nature all around. Players control the stunning wolf who is born without a pack. That's odd.
Mm-hmm.
And is trying to find a place where he fits in. Along the way, players encounter other animals and secrets which lead you to uncover your true self. I mean, it sounds like a walking simulator, honestly.
You mean a wolving simulator?
Yeah.
Man, like you said, aesthetic wise and art, it is on point. Like the title thumbnail here, that looks really good. I think that stands out. Nothing wrong with that. For a second, I thought this looked like some of the other like animal focus indie games we've played, like that one where I was like a bird and I clicked through the wall and I fell to the void.
Yeah, but
I mean,
this one looks like it may have its ducks in a row, but like there's an issue with gameplay, and also there is not much to the store page at all.
mm-hmm. There's no bullet points. There's nothing here that's really telling me why I should play this game.
Other than the aesthetics
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that it's created by Tom Black, who may or may not be an average 16-year-old kid, or
Mm-hmm.
that may just be the character in the story. If this was, I don't believe this game was created by a 16-year-old.
Mm.
I mean, it could have been, but I wouldn't think a 16-year-old would have his aesthetics in line like this.
Mm.
But
It
could be.
could be a case where he designed the game and he hired like a professional artist to do the art for it.
Not likely. It's 16.
Maybe he's an heir to a vast fortune.
Well, I think the more issue is that he's, you know, most 16-year-olds do not know that how much aesthetics mean in a game
Mm-hmm.
to being commercially successful. Heck, a lot of older people don't realize that.
Mm-hmm. I will say of the screenshots, the final one is probably the worst. Just a nondescript forest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So again, this one on point with the aesthetics, but nothing really with the actual gameplay.
Yeah. So here's the question. Has anybody said anything in your chat?
No.
Did you put a test in there so I can verify mine's working?
Mm-hmm. That may just be all the dialogue for today's episode, we'll see.
Yeah. Double test.
And this is why we didn't do a round table during the holiday week either.
Yeah.
Alright, let's go to Morkred. Morkred? It's hard to tell.
Mark Reed.
Got those extra D's in there.
Yeah, it's all about the D's.
Alright, so this is one. Now, the formatting is a little weird. I don't know if this is from the store page or from, Keymailer, like, screwing up how things are organized. Oh, your path is the orb. Master over 60 puzzles. The orb is your only... Wait, you have to survive it with your partner, but the orb is your only friend.
Maybe the orb is your partner. No, there's a partner right there in the in this trailer.
Mm-hmm. Alright, I want to play it and see what we get.
I already played mine.
So, I mean, like, right away, just like... It has a decent aesthetic. It's a little dark.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like the idea is stay in the light and avoid all these shadows. Oh. So this is one of those games where you can basically get your partner killed.
Yeah, that won't be frustrating or ruin any friendships.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
I can imagine us playing this co-op and us killing each other constantly.
Oh yes. So the general gameplay, it does sound interesting. I think the video does a good job of kind of highlighting things as well. So concerns from this one. One, I'm not seeing anything about remote play or online play.
Hmm. I'm also not seeing any GIFs in the description.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like the developer thought the video would be enough to sell it. And I do think you should have GIFs or other screenshots.
Or maybe he just didn't know.
Mm-hmm. So Master 60 puzzles. I would say of the ones we've shown so far, this one at least has the most detail in terms of what the game is.
Yeah, I would say so too.
Mm.
Uh-oh. There's already DLC for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even out.
Yeah, it looks like it's. I don't know what the ODE is. Let's see.
It's the second orb. It's the orb of darkness.
And it's all in the. What's that? Chinese? That's weird. Hmm.
Chinese or Japanese, I'm not sure. I looked, there's a D20 that you're rolling around in the 4 screenshot on the DLC.
Yeah. Yeah, so again, I think this one could probably use a little bit more detail in the description.
Mm-hmm. And
But it does
English
show
description.
potential. What was that?
And an English description.
Mm-hmm. That is important. Again, whatever language your game is in or what you're selling for, make sure you have the store page or things properly translated.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We're ready to move on.
Yep.
So our next game, I think, will be Hasty Snow. And this is in developing, not in development, but in developing.
Mm-hmm.
Hope to release in the end of 2020.
Well, they gotta hurry up.
Yep. You can join their Discord. And about the game, the hardcore snowball fight tower defense VR arcade. How many times have we ever heard somebody describe their game in like a few genre words and be like, "That's my game. That's my core
Mm-hmm.
gameplay loop."
Mm-hmm.
And how many times has that ended in a train wreck?
Yep. You like the last screenshot?
Oh yeah, Hasty Snow developing till the end of 2020. And if you look at all these screenshots, like they all look like it's just one little small iceberg that you're playing with like just one model that you're fighting 500 different of those models or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And prototype in the upper left is also not exactly what you want to show on a screenshot.
Yeah, because and you definitely don't want to sell a prototype either.
Mm-hmm.
And this is pretty much point on for VR. This is one of the big problems with VR is pretty much the only thing on VR for the most part is prototypes and concepts and demos, not real games. They're sold as real games, but they're not. They're just prototypes and whatnot. And I mean, there's only a few real games, actual games on there, and the ones I know about is like Beat Saber, the Half-Life Alyx. Then there's a
Walking Dead.
Telltale one, Batman or something.
Hmm. There is a Walking Dead game I heard really high praise for.
So there's like 4 games on VR.
Mm-hmm.
And see, that's
That's
the
how you sell
weakness.
a platform.
Yeah, that's the weakness to VR kind of thing. That
Mm.
said, Neon Continuum will maybe be the 5th game on
There you
VR.
go. I will say the aesthetic of this one does at least look good. Like everything looks consistent.
That's because everything is the same asset.
Yep.
It's consistent of reusing the asset.
Yeah, I think it's just the same screenshot, just like shown at different angles.
Yeah, like if you look at the second and the third, they're the exact same thing. Just,
Mm-hmm.
I think one of them zoomed in more. Yeah, that's all it is. Is one of them zoomed in more.
Oh, that's good. Oh boy. Yeah, so again, just if your screenshots and your marketing looks bad, people are going to assume your game is bad. Now, in this case, it could very well be the case of it, but as we've seen, you gotta be really careful what you're showing people.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you
And
ready?
and this, I'm pretty sure they're showing people everything they have, and that's a huge red flag.
Mm-hmm. All right,
All
are you
right.
ready to move on?
Yep.
All right, we'll go to Diving City. So this one I chose right off the bat because it looks like we're in some kind of like cyberpunk futuristic world.
Yeah, but there's no water to dive into.
Mm-hmm. But you just dive into the city.
Dive into the city. That is that safely extreme?
Maybe. No, it seems more extreme if you're diving like into concrete. So this one, from the descriptions of it, sounds like it would be a game right up my alley. It's a non-linear underground city, non-linear dungeon. Although this does concern me. The underground mega city in the game is a huge non-linear dungeon with almost completely fixed resources and enemy configurations. So you can go anywhere you want, but everything is still fixed.
Mm-hmm.
So if you run out of resources, you're kind of screwed.
Yep.
Difficult enemies and challenging levels. Chained up exploration decisions. I don't know what that means. Are you locked to something? You have a ball and chain around you?
Yeah.
Ooh. And there's a tower defense side of this as well.
Yeah, the chained up to the best route with limited resources. So your resources complaint is right here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Tower, and then it's a tower defense. Oh, I like random temporary enhancement. So you're gonna get upgrades. You don't know what they are, but they're only gonna last temporary.
And there's going to be limited resources.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on how RNG decides to treat you, it may not be enough.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
So you may lose the game just because RNG says you lose, because you don't have enough resources to counter RNG's treatment of you.
Hmm.
There's some red flags in there for sure.
Yeah. The art looks okay, but it has that kind of like mobile-ish look to it to me.
Yeah, it has a cheap, chibi
Yeah.
look.
What concerns me is I'm not really seeing the tower defense game they're showing, nor anything about gear, resources, things like that.
That may be that last one, the tower defense thing.
Hmm. Could be. The UI does look clean,
Yeah, the UI design is definitely on point.
but it's kind of hard again to tell whenever we have games like this that it's hard to tell whether there's going to be any balance or not.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. So, what would you advise in terms of marketing here?
Um, well, they definitely need GIFs and stuff in their
Mm-hmm.
description. They need a more description as well. I would say they probably need a better looking art for like the characters and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying they can't go with the same chibi style, just they need to be less cheap looking chibis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's all I got off the top of my head.
Yeah. The fourth and fifth thumbnails seem to be the exact same thing, just like 1 second ahead of each other, too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so I think I would agree that the art needs a little bit of work, and definitely some gifs showing like combat, showing things in motion. I think would be helpful here.
Hmm. The the UI art is definitely on point though.
Yeah,
They did a
it's very
really good.
clean. It's very easy to see what's happening.
It's very
It's
stylistic.
not like that eco game I played on Wednesday night. That was just like an orgy of noises and UI elements.
There's a D mod. And yeah, that game was so funny.
Best game of the year, I think.
Yeah, clearly.
All right, I think I'm ready to move on.
All right. So next game, let's go with a quick one: fortification, tower defense, kind of thing. This one, if you look at the screenshot, there's not much here, and it's
Hmm.
very like first kind of game looking. There's
Hmm.
no real textures or anything. Looks like a functional tower defense, but that's it. The
Yeah.
co-op tower defense, it's co-op. Build towers and defend the missile silo from the invasion of robots who want to exterminate humanity. Features: generate terrain.
Hmm.
That's all your features. Just generate terrain. Gameplay is designed for 20 to 40 minutes. At least
Hmm.
they didn't go red flag there. They specifically knew that you were not going to get very much gameplay out of this.
Yeah.
Which, if you're only going to get that much gameplay out of there, what's the point of the generating terrain?
Hmm.
So, I mean, the gameplay length kind of kills the one and only feature they have.
Yeah. Hmm.
And then the aesthetics are not there at all.
Yeah. I think one thing, like right off the bat, from a UI standpoint, is that you don't want your various like little windows here to be like taking up different sizes. You want the UI to be like uniform, or if you don't have a info pane, have it just stretch all the way across, kind of.
Well, there's nothing wrong with the different sizes of buttons. The problem is that the boxes are not lining up and it's looking
Hmm.
very stair stepped and whatnot.
Yeah.
Which probably the better method would be take that map and move it up to the one of the upper corners kind of thing,
Hmm.
and shorten up that very long bar because I'm sure there's not very many there's not towers to fill out the whole bar. You see that there's
Hmm.
three total towers kind of thing. So shorten that up and then make that one in between the towers and that whatever that other thing is, make that bigger and then move to where it fits and then just make it where it's more, there's only one step instead of like three,
Hmm.
and then move that to the corner.
Yeah.
But the whole UI needs to be reworked. It's just a gray box with a little buttonized effect on it. Just
Hmm.
like the entire art textures need to be worked because they're pretty much for the most part just solid colors besides that ramp which oddly has a little bit of texture on it
Hmm.
and the guns that have that little bit of yellow that really looks tacky and everything.
Yeah.
But
I
like
mean,
it looks like somebody's first concept which I mean this is pretty good for somebody's first concept kind of thing.
if it is their first concept, that is.
Yeah, assuming that it is, this is, pretty good for that. But this is not something good for sale.
Hmm. Yeah. And I mean, as you said, like to me, like the art is clean looking. Like again, by the fact that it's all solid colors. But this doesn't look like a game to me. This looks, again, like a prototype or, the version before you then add the art in that makes it all look nice and fancy.
Yeah. This honestly looks worse than the prototype version of Continuum that looked really, really bad. But it's funny.
And again, there's no real description about what you're doing. It just says co-op tower defense. So what exactly are we doing in this game?
Mm-hmm.
Like usually for like tower defense style games, you're going to market it. You're going to show like different towers. You're going to have a GIF of shooting at enemies. Something to show the game in motion.
Yeah, but it looks like they only had 3 towers. Also, hello, Nikita.
Yep. Hello. See, we got at least one person watching for the holidays.
Yeah.
I still don't know what some of these buttons mean. Like the 8 that are next to like the little image in the bottom, almost bottom left. Could be like targeting specific characters.
I have no idea. You're talking about beside the map?
The one that's next to where it says destroy on the left hand side.
I do
There's
not
like
even
8
see
little
that.
icons. Hmm?
Oh, you're talking about the 8 little icons?
Yeah.
What about them?
I'm not sure what they're supposed to mean. I think they're supposed to be like targeting.
Yeah, I don't either.
Hmm.
They're really too small to read, and that's
Yeah.
another issue.
Mm-hmm. So this could very well be a decent tower defense game, but I don't see anyone of like a general consumer wanting to buy this game on these screenshots.
Yeah, I don't think it's a I would I don't think it would be a decent tower defense game. I think it would probably be a decent start to a tower defense game, but not like a final product because in the end, it is just 40 minutes long, and its only features is generate terrain, and there's only 3 towers.
Mm-hmm. Now it says it's genre is early access, so they could be doing more work. I want to check that out for a second. Hold
Wait, is Nikita the developer of this?
on. I don't. Are they?
Maybe. No.
All right. It is $2.99, and I think this is another big point of mention that we've talked about this before. Price is not the measure of quality or the measure of a good sale as it was maybe 5 to 10 years ago. That
Mm-hmm.
pricing your game at $3 and say, well, it's price cheap, so people are going to buy it. No, that's not really how it works these days. People are willing to spend money if your game looks good. And if it doesn't look good, even putting your game as free may not be enough to get them to play it.
Yeah. I know there's tons of free games on itch that nobody plays.
So there is looks like there is a movie on Steam where there is a video.
Yeah. That's the way Key Miller works, is it takes everything but the trailer.
Uh,
But except for when you only have a trailer, then you'll take the trailer. Just to
yeah,
not.
so
It just
again,
imports everything directly over from Steam.
it doesn't look bad in motion, but again, the art or whatever lack thereof is what hurts it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at like the last like 10 seconds, they show like characters and that has like no representation in the game itself.
Hmm.
I mean, if the game looked like that all the way, that would be a different story. So they
So
only,
I'm about ready to move on.
yeah, 2 to 4 months of early access. Will the game be priced differently during and after early access? No, but discounts will decrease. You're already at $3. How much lower can you go?
The discounts will decrease, meaning that, like it'll be 66% off on day one, and then like week two it'll be like 50% off. Week five it'll be like 40% off, and then by the time you get to the game's finished, there will be no discounts.
I like where it says, "How are you planning on involving the community?" It says you can leave wishes for improving the gameplay. You can wish for a better game.
I do that all the time. It never works.
All right. Let's go to Don't Cheat on Me. And this sounds almost like an Among Us spinoff.
Is that what it sounds like?
You're supposed to track and find information with each character having different roles.
I thought that sounded like that one party game that got all that controversy.
So, a cheating story, 3 characters, a 3-story house. I don't think story is spelled right. Different evidence clues to play with, lots of places to hide, randomized game setup. So this is just basically a cheating simulator, right?
Yeah. But the thing is that there's only 3 people, and the goal is to find out who's cheating on it. It's like, yeah, it's that other person.
Process of elimination.
Yeah. There's 2 guys and 1 girl. I'm not the one cheating, so it must be the other one.
Mm-hmm. And the neighbor description, I don't know, it feels like somebody else wrote the description for that one. The neighbor has to hide with all his strength. Don't let the husband find you. Be quiet and silence your footsteps. Otherwise, the noise will betray you. Collaborate with the wife and find an opportunity to fight back, since the husband also has some secrets that will reverse the situation. I don't think that's how cheating works.
Right.
You're cheating on my wife. Well, I found that you stole money. Well, then that's okay.
Exactly. That's exactly how the
6
world
gigs of RAM for this. All that extra cheating going on.
Yeah, you gotta have the RAM to load up all the cheating. Wait, it takes 6 gigs of RAM, but it only takes 4 gigs of storage room on your hard drive?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the extra 6 gigs of RAM? Is that in data mining?
Maybe.
Is that in a Bitcoin miner in there?
Maybe. Maybe that's a secret.
Yeah, and that's the one that you got to find out on the husband and find out that the husband has actually been really Bitcoin mining on your system this entire game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has like kind of an asset flip kind of look to it, like very basic 3D models.
Absolutely. And the other thing is it requires a broadband internet connection, which really, really goes back to that whole mining thing that I was talking about.
Yeah. That's the secret of this game.
Mm-hmm.
And the dialogue boxes on screen are stupidly generic. Like this looks again like just like basic level here.
Yeah, this screams all of assets.
Mm-hmm.
I would be hard pressed to find anything in here that is not an asset. I could be wrong on that, but it 100% looks like assets.
Well,
they're all mashed well together,
mm-hmm.
but it all feels like assets.
Well, this is an RPG. It's just like from Asia.
Yeah, it is. The word of the day.
Mm-hmm. All right, I am ready when you are to move on.
Okay, let's go with Kagra's Dreamland.
Okay. Are we gonna
So
get denied for this one?
I don't think so. So it says it's a cute and joyful, casual, light adventure. Welcome to Kagura's Dreamland.
Mm-hmm.
Fantasy world of a high school girl. Kagura's Dreamland contains 16 level adventure levels plus 3 special levels, totaling 19 maps. Are they maps or levels?
Leveling
With
on maps.
yeah, with different features for the players to explore. On the way, players will go through forest, desert, snowfields, gorgeous, etc., encounter different monsters, learn new skills, and defeat the ultimate enemy. There's an ultimate enemy in here somewhere. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
it's that teddy bear with the sword. That seems pretty ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
You can collect dark crystals on the map and trade them for more powerful weapons to face more dangerous challenges. In addition to, after rounds of battle, Kagura's level will increase. Now, is this levels or is this maps?
You go up to map 17.
Yeah, allowing her to perform more powerful attacks. Unbearably, okay, they get points for that one. Cute little creatures.
Mm-hmm.
These little bears and kittens. And kittens. I haven't seen any kittens. Have you seen any kittens?
Now I see cactus and bears.
Yeah. Are so cute. It's a shame you have to fight them in your dreams.
Oh, the second screenshot has cats. I think they're cats.
Is that
Hmm.
a cat?
I don't know.
I guess.
So for this one, I don't know. I'm kind of like torn between the art. Like everything looks like it fits, but I'm not liking like the heavy outlines around these characters.
Well, the problem isn't the heavy outline. The problem is that there's heavy outlines on the enemies, but there's not on your character. And there's not on everything else. You either need to go all heavy lines or no heavy lines. Or maybe not all, but most heavy lines kind of thing. Heavy outlines. Because it needs to be consistent and match all the way through. That's
Mm,
that's the issue. Like I personally like the heavy outlines, but the fact is it needs to be more. There needs to be some heavy lines in the backgrounds. There needs to be heavy lines on the character. There's light lines on the character, but not heavy.
hmm Now, one kind of red flag I'm seeing with this combat is that it seems like you're kind of locked into that animation as you're trying to strike these enemies. Like it seems like it's gonna be a very slow, very just like button mashing kind of combat system.
Yeah, I think the combat system definitely could use some work.
Hmm
It's not it's not horrible, but it doesn't look good either.
hmm Hmm.
And
I will
it
say though
also
that.
looks like they probably are going to overuse character assets.
Hmm
I mean,
I will say the gifts look good. Again, like when you have action games, you gotta show it in motion.
hmm
I don't like the grainy effect gifts. What about you?
Yeah, I do not like that.
Yeah. Again,
I
it's not in the screenshots.
Yeah, they should not. You should not be modifying your gifs. They should be actual. Besides like editing out stuff like cropping and stuff.
Hmm
But you shouldn't be editing as in adding effects or anything else to them that's not in the game.
Yeah.
Same thing goes with screenshots. You need to give an accurate representation of what is in the game.
Yep.
Doesn't need to be like having it like cropped down and skinny and like a banner kind of thing. That's fine. But adding post effects and stuff like that, no.
hmm All right. Anything else you want to say on this one?
No, that's about it.
All right, let's go to the Forgotten. Because
Do you
it seems like they
remember?
may have forgotten some gameplay on this one.
You remember that they forgot their gameplay.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Chell. Oh, there are 3 different endings.
Maybe
Ooh.
that's where all the gameplay is.
Enemies may come out of nowhere and attack you.
I.e., they make spawn right behind you and attack you.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I do like the Forgotten has many features, from sneaking to avoid enemies or hiding in bushes, all the way to real-time events. I guess this game also has visual novel, first-person shooting, and dating sims too. It's got all the features.
Yeah. Just put all the genres in your game. It'll be better, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm not hearing combat, so this sounds very much as like a hide and seek game.
Yeah. And seeing how hiding and seeking were like 2 of the features.
Mm-hmm. And again, very, very nondescript screenshots.
Like
Here's a
a
barn.
campfire with, a couple tents and it's just burning, and that's the gist.
I think you mean a hiding simulator as well, Nikita. Let's see, what the hell is that? I mean, there are a lot of screenshots. I will give the developer that. But I feel like I'm on a photography class rather than looking at a game.
Yeah. Quality over quantity. There's only one that actually has anything happening in it, and that's like about the 6th or 7th or something.
There's one that looks like an enemy. I think it's an enemy.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Hmm.
That's the only one you see anything happening on.
I do like the GIF where literally nothing is happening. You can't really see what's going on.
The first one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So nice and peaceful.
It's almost like nothing happens in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait.
Oh, wait,
That's
all of
probably
them are.
true.
Mm-hmm. Oh, genre action. Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, it's a strategy game too.
there is lots of action in these GIFs.
Hmm. You get many features. Hmm.
And it's the action of watching a fire burn in a campfire. The action of watching snowfall.
I'm assuming the 3 endings are just which character did you save? Did you save everybody?
Yeah, probably.
Hmm. And again, there's no description about combat. There's no real showing of interaction at all.
Or any characters besides that one in that one screenshot.
The final GIF shows, I think, somebody standing there. But yeah, there's no motion in any of this. I mean, I will say though, for some of the horror games we've seen, it is a step up. But it's maybe going from -10 to maybe -9.8.
But that's only because it's not black.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be clear on that. It's not black the game, and that's the reason why I get the upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
You can see stuff.
Just nothing's happening.
Mm-hmm. You can see nothing's happening. Rather, in the other ones, you couldn't see that nothing was happening.
Yep. And I guess it's nice that you didn't just like put like very generic enemies, but you gotta show me something. Like, where's the horror here?
I mean, they are showing you something. Like, look at that campfire.
Mm-hmm.
That's something, and they're showing it to you.
Again and again and again.
Yeah, I mean that's high quality HD fire right there. You can't just get that in the bargain bin kind of thing.
Yeah.
You can't get that in games that have like gameplay and stuff in it. You got to go with games like this that don't have gameplay in it to get a fire like that.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anything else you want to say on this one?
No, I think I'm pretty clear.
Okay. And as a time check, we're about, I would say, maybe 50 minutes into the stream. So you think maybe another 10, 15 should do it?
Yeah.
Okay. What
The,
game do you want to turn? Oh,
let's go to I Caramba.
oh no.
And this is truly a no. Like this, I don't even know what this game is. Like, look at all these screenshots. It just looks like a bunch of random colors and everything. Hello, the aim of this game is to arrange colored blocks in the right order to get a gradient. By default, if you place a block correctly, it will automatically lock. I think that's automatically be locked, and you
Mm-hmm.
will hear the sound, not a sound, the sound. They only have one sound. You'll hear the sound. You can disable one or both of these features in the setting.
Settings.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's two settings. Disable one or both of those. You
hmm.
will be able to lock and unlock button blocks manually. It is possible to do that for multiple blocks by holding down the right mouse button when you press the play button. What is the play button?
Mm,
Is that the start button?
could be.
That's a red flag, as if we haven't seen any yet. A level is selected randomly from those you have not completed yet. So you don't even get to pick your own level.
But you're also free to choose any level.
Yeah, yeah. Pretty simple, right? uh,
Mm-hmm. It's not a red flag, it's a gradient of red.
it is every flag, every color flag in the rainbow in blocks. It's flag blocks.
Hey, Mike. Oh, my.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, the screenshot with the heart, that's really good on your eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Heart's on fire.
It looks like a game of Snake for the next one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
You
even
get a
know what
shot.
you're doing in this game. Do you?
Can't you just moving blocks around to get the colors right?
Well, how do you know what is the right colors for that heart in that case?
Well, you'll hear the sound.
The sound. The one and only sound.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Well, it's an indie casual game.
I think it's more of an indie rainbow flag game. All right, I'm done with this one. That was a quickie.
All right. Yeah, and again, like I'm sure this game is priced at like 99 cents or like $1.99 on Steam. In fact,
Which is probably about $5 too much because I mean, like,
let's see.
I think you would. I think even if you offered me $5 to play it, I'd have a very hard time accepting that offer.
Well, it's $3, but it's on sale for $2.69 right now.
Ooh,
Yeah, like again, I don't see anyone spending $3 for this game.
I don't see anybody spending $0 for this game.
Hmm. And yeah, like this would not be a game I would put on the store page.
Yeah, this wouldn't be a game that I would put even up for free on itch.io.
Mm.
So, what's your next one?
Let's see. Yes and no, Nikita. We do look for games that stand out in the bad ways, but again, we see about 20 to 30 games being released weekly on Steam. So,
Daily.
unfortunately, the quality is lacking in a lot of cases.
It's 20 to 30 daily, not weekly.
Mm. Let's see. All right, let's go to Rundum.
Random. Okay.
So this one, I like the aesthetic of this one, but in the same breath, this looks very hard on your eyes playing this.
Mm-hmm. So it doesn't
You
have as much neon as Neon Titanium.
mm-hmm. It has all the purple though.
Yeah, and green.
Ultimate projections of yourself, your friends, and random runners from the other side. What, are we dying in this?
Maybe.
Challenge distance and break the speed limit.
You break the speed limit on your foot?
I guess. And apparently you're running in high heels if you look at the first screenshot.
Yeah.
You're gonna break something if you're on running 30 miles an hour on high heels.
No, they're breaking the speed limit, so they must be going 85, 90, 100. Running 100 miles an hour in high heels.
I believe it's $100 per game. Is that right, Shark? For the Steam Direct.
Yeah, it's $100 per game that you submit.
Mm-hmm. So this would be another game that you really need a GIF
Mm-hmm.
or at least a video. Let's see. Is there a video on the store page? Before I type the game in, how much do you think this game is being sold on Steam for?
$4.99.
Let's see. Oh, doesn't have a sale yet.
It hasn't released yet, so its price is not displayed.
Yeah, coming in December. All right,
No, they don't have very long for that.
so the video just makes you even more dizzy. It's spinning all that bright colors. Oh, it's getting faster too. That's great.
Well, you gotta break the speed limit. You gotta go fast. After
Mm,
Steam's thing, it's $100 per thing, but you have to register as a company, whether it's a sole proprietorship or not. You have to register at that, which means that business laws then apply to you, as well as taxation and whatnot. And Steam is worse than your average ads company, because your average ads company will not pay you out until you earn $100. Steam won't pay you until you earn $100 uh, after reductions, aka you have to earn about $200 to get a single penny from Steam, because then you once you take in the Steam percentage, the 30% from Steam, and the taxes that are automatically applied to your game and whatnot, whatever you make is going to be roughly 50% of that. So, like on my game, when I made a little bit over $1,400, I got a little bit over $700. It was, I don't know the exact percentage. It wasn't exactly 50%, but I think I got about 51, and Steam took about 49 or something along that lines kind of thing. So you have to make $200 to get to see a single penny, and that penny is going to be $100.
mm-hmm.
So you have to earn $200 with your game to break even off your Steam fee.
Yeah, for itch specifically, not only do you get to set the price, but I believe they let you kind of split where the money goes, whether more to the store or more to the developer, or am I
Yeah,
confusing that with Humble?
no, you're correct, but you don't. The consumer doesn't pick. The developer picks.
Oh, okay.
So the developer can pick that no money goes to itch. So you make 100% of the money.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm unsure how taxes and everything calculate on that.
Mm-hmm.
Unsure if itch even charges taxes or what they do, because I never bought a game on itch. I put some concepts up there and whatnot, put some game jams up on there. Never put an actual game on there though.
So before we move on from this one, what this game really needs is an actual gameplay GIF. I don't need, cinematic trailer. I need to know how this game looks actually in motion.
Yeah.
Hmm. Anything else you want to say about this one?
No.
All right. So, do you want to do one more from you, or like one more pair?
Um, well, I have a bunch that I could go through really quickly.
All
Do
right.
you
Well,
want
I
to,
have four left on my list, but we're about over our time, so
would you
I'm
want to
fine.
do a speed round for some of mine?
Sure.
Okay, so let's go to Kill the Pineapple. This one gets in there for the name alone.
What do you do in this game?
You probably killed the pineapple. So you have these really crazy looking characters and everything, and you're running around. Kill the Pineapple is a trippy third person shooter with a psychedelic dream world and a story mode of survival arena mode. Your goal is to find and kill the Pineapple Head, the leader of the organization called the Pineapple Corp, which destroys your planet, harvesting resources for their cocktail. Use a
Mm.
variety of weapons to fight your way through different areas and reach the Pineapple Corp headquarters for the final showdown. And the developer is Nut Wombat Studios.
Hmm.
Do you have anything you want to add to this one, or should we go on to the next?
Mm. The aesthetic is okay, but again, if you're going to tell me your game is an action game or a shooter, you gotta show me something with that.
Mm.
All right.
So another speed run one would be parking car. So in this one, you park cars. Who would have guessed? On these city parking lots, always open nor separate. The constant flow of cars that lead parking lots, park on them, a space in the center. Any part of Metropolis drives motorists crazy.
Okay. I do later says you need to literally resolve the entire problem. Isn't that just playing the game? Like, how will we metaphorically solve this?
Yeah. It's apparently a fascinating puzzle game according to the features. Easy control. What are we controlling? Easily. Nice graphics.
That's debatable.
And I don't think that's debatable.
Hmm. And a single player campaign.
Yeah, like if they consider these nice graphics, then I'd hate to see what they consider nice, easy control and fascinating puzzle gameplay. I mean, this seems like a red flag generator.
And the pause icon in the upper right really screams mobile as well.
Mm-hmm. And it's in every screenshot. And
Hmm.
if you look at all the timers, they're all like at 7, 8, and 9.
Hmm.
At the no, maybe that's not a timer because the timer's up in the other corner where you have 58, 12, 37, 16, and the number of crashes.
Yeah. So what does that number in the top mean?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Hmm.
And the number of times you failed.
And also, as a UI complaint, the time and the crashes, I think those words should be lined up, right? Like vertically.
Yeah. Well, you say it as a UI complaint, but I say, where's the UI?
I see a somewhat transparent box.
Yeah, I don't think that counts as a UI. That counts as a somewhat transparent box.
All right.
All right. You got
Let's
anything else to add to that?
no.
Okay, another really quick one. Revenge on the Streets 2.
I
This
did
looks like
see
a
this one.
this looks like a game for Josh right here.
Love these graphics.
Oh yeah, these are top-notch graphics.
Press press 10 press the on start in the upper right.
Continuar.
Tempo.
You want to continue R?
Mm.
And the last image, supposedly a GIF, but it's not, it doesn't move. Come and save her if you dare.
Mm-hmm.
That
There's a
might be the best piece of art for this entire game, and it's not even in the game.
mm-hmm.
You got anything to add to this one?
I like it on the one thumbnail. Was that the fifth one? Just like the generic turkey on the ground.
No, that's the wall chicken.
Uh,
It popped out of the wall. Uh, so do you want to do one of yours now?
sure. All right, let's go to Outside In.
Okay.
So this is a game that all the features are just on these screenshots. Duo co-op, adventure inside human body, fight against deadly viruses, and they all are smiling at you.
Mhm.
This looks like a VR game to me, or it could be an FPS.
Yeah, they don't
I
tell
will,
you.
eh, I will say aesthetically, like other than the character selectors, looks very doesn't look like it matches the other stuff. It does have like a very unique look to it. It kind of reminds me of that Void Bastards game.
Yeah, kind of.
Now, one concern is that it looks like your gun doesn't change in any of these screenshots.
Well, it's different colors.
That may just be the lighting in the area too. Virus locator. So this one does show a little bit of potential.
Mm-hmm. A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta love the pickle looking character with the spear though, and the
Mm-hmm.
thumb looking character with a baseball bat.
Yeah,
Is that Pickle Rick?
maybe. All right. Well, I know we are right at time. Do you want to do any more this week, or do you want to call it?
I got one more. I think I want to do garlic. End this on a better note, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So look at garlic. It's a black and white aesthetic. It doesn't look bad. And
Hmm.
you dive into this addictive casual platformer. You are a you are garlic, a onion headed boy. Wait, wouldn't that be a garlic headed boy?
Yeah.
And you want to climb the sacred tower to meet the cyber goddess that grants a wish to all the heroes who reach the top.
Hmm.
But this time, it seems things are not going as planned. Wow, that's an unexpected story. And gotta love that image.
Yeah. I'm watching the video on the store page. It does look very snappy in motion.
The platforming.
Yeah. Although
Well,
the very meme face is a little weird.
I think he is a character.
This was not made by the same developer who did the no, that one that I play with the frog.
There is definitely a red flag here. It says that at the beginning it says dive into this addictive casual platformer, and then at the
Yeah.
very bottom it says inspired by Super Meat Boy, Celeste, and Gato Roboto. I don't think any of those are casual, addictive casual platformers.
Mm-hmm. Well, Celeste is perfectly accessible, right?
Oh yeah, 3,000 billion%.
Could be something up my alley though, just from again because I play the difficult platformers.
Oh yeah, and you still fail to get good.
Mm-hmm.
But it does seem like something up your alley. Definitely would be something I think you should try to get a key for.
Mm-hmm. One screen, many checkpoints. So again, like this would be like, I think the aesthetic matches. Like even though it is a 1-bit look, character models, detail, emotion, it actually looks really good.
Mm-hmm. Wish they had some gifs and whatnot on the store page.
Yeah, the video is good. I do like that they have that. But yeah, this definitely needs a GIF just so someone just like look at it and see something happening.
Yeah. No, but that's all I had for that one. Do you have anything else?
No, I think that will do it.
Are we gonna end here, or you want to do another?
Let me see if one of my last picks actually have anything interesting I want to say on it. We look at outside in. Dermatron. Eh. Let me look. This will be my last one. No place like home.
All right.
So I chose this one because I'm always looking for another really good farming sim, slice of life kind of game. And on the store page, I don't know, like they're using their own art for the descriptions, not just using generic text. This sounds very much like a game that they have a very high concept they want to develop for it.
It also looks like a Kickstarter.
Hmm. By now, Tier 1 early access at 75%. Gain access to about 5 hours of gameplay. Tier 2. I mean, it sounds like they have a lot of organization here.
Mm-hmm. That blindingly white UI at the bottom, though. That's killer. Where all your items and stuff are in your belt.
Mm-hmm.
That blinding white is killer. They definitely need to do something about that.
The aesthetic looks nice. This looks like an Unreal game to me, at least. Maybe.
I don't see the unrealness.
Maybe it's all that bloom in the background.
I mean, you can do tons of bloom in Unity too.
Hmm. And again, this is one I think could use a GIF or two if you're kind of actually doing farming, because it looks very low quality 3D to me a little bit.
Yeah.
I like the screenshot in like the ruined city, but it also kind of looks like our characters like copy and pasted on just by how it looks.
Kind of.
Let's see. Is this available already?
Also, is that supposed to be water? Because like that, some of the stuff looks like it's submerged kind of thing, but you're like standing on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell if that's water you're not sinking into, or concrete that stuff is melting into.
Yeah. I'm watching the video on Steam now, and it looks very, Harvest Moon like. Don't know if it looks any better in motion though.
Yeah.
Could be interesting, but $5 is also raising a red flag to me.
Yeah. Well, according to them, it's, if you go down to the about the game part, it's why buy now, early access tier 1, special price, $4.99, save 75% off of the full release price.
Hmm.
So basically, they're
I
saying
mean,
that this is going to be a $20 game,
hmm.
but you can get it for $5 if you buy it now. Problem is, right? They throw in, 50% sales now and sell it for $2.50, and then they go up to $5, and then they're still going to have to, and now they're going to have to do 60% sales, which means they're selling for $4.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go up to $15, and now they're going to have to go like 70% off sales, 80% off sales, which means they're now selling it for like, what was that, like $3? And then they go up to $15, $20, and now they're having to do like 90% off, which means they're like selling for like $2, which is cheaper than they were to begin with.
Yeah. Could be worth checking out. I put in a key request for it, but I think they're going to have a long road to get up to the point of it being worth $20.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I think that does it for me this week. So I think I'm ready to end things if you are for now. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this week's Indie Inquiries. If you'd like us to take your game in a future piece, please get in touch. Again, we do these shows Thursdays around 3 p.m. ET. And if you want to catch us live for our game dev talk, tune into the Safely Extreme podcast. That is Sundays around 4:30 ET here and on the Nexus Game YouTube.
Yep. And if you want to check my game streams out, they're every Tuesday. And if you want to check my dev streams where I work on my game, Neon Continuum, that'll be on every Friday, tomorrow. And,
right.
We also have a once a month dev chat where, as long as we have a playable version, we will play the game, which will be coming on January 2nd. And, of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Nexus Games INC1. You can, join the Discord. All the links to my Twitter, Discord, YouTube channel, Josh's YouTube channel, Josh's Twitter, Josh's Discord. All that is down below. And if you want to catch the live streams live and talk to us, ring the bell or join the Discord or both, because that's probably the only way you'll ever find out when they're actually live.
Mm-hmm. And a happy holidays to everyone who tuned in, watching this either live or recorded. Good, we got some chat. Was it just text?
Yeah.
On both of our
yeah, we
chat.
got some text.
There we go.
Merry Christmas, everybody. And I just realized I'm going to be doing my dev stream on Christmas Day.
There you go.
That's going to have a good turnaround, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I'm sure you'll get 10,000 people watching.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Well, I will be back later tonight for our regular game streams and come back daily for discussions on game design here and on game wisdom, where some of the art and science of games. Have a great holiday, everybody, and see you next time. Take care.